Welcome to the Spring Real Estate Market Report. We're going to look at the data. We're going to put it in context. This is for San Diego County. Let's look at month supply. That's where we like to start. And we have about a month's supply in San Diego. And if you look at the data as far back as it goes to 2008, we are in a seller's market. I feel that I've been saying that for years. I mentioned other videos. At one point, I was able to say we were in a buyer's market, then a balanced market. And I did. I've been saying what a balanced market and a seller's market is for a long time. As prices go up higher, you can have a longer inventory and still call it a balanced market. But somewhere between 6 and 8 months, there's like a balanced market. Maybe 8 to 10 months is a balanced market, and below that, it's a seller's market, multiple offer type market. You can take your time and sell to the buyer that you choose. Now, as a buyer, what are you going to do when price per square foot's been going up? And so you're like, I'm waiting. Boom, it got away from me. I don't know when it's going to end. The Fed's in control of this. They've been rigging the market for a long time, keeping interest rates down, buying mortgage securities, buying up risky mortgages, just the whole thing. So interest rates are unnaturally low, and people can buy a big home for the relative to the interest rate, and that's what people have done. And then COVID came along, and people need bigger homes, still do. And I think we could turn over the market if realtors change the way they did business. Instead of selling to one buyer at a time, or the first 1 or 2 buyers you negotiate with them, boom, you sell your house. When you see that prices per square foot have been going up like this, at some point you have to say realtors are probably selling too cheap for the sellers, and they need to have a better process. So I would like to help the whole market by coming up with a better way of buying a home when you have one to sell. So many people would like a bigger home with more offices. So many people would like to trade up. So many people would like to trade down, and they don't because they don't want to get stuck. And I know people who got stuck. I know people who sold their home listening to Dave Ramsey, who hated debt, sold their home and had to buy an inferior home back for the same price a few years later. I mean, that guy has so many mistakes on the internet that I've covered. I hope you're not listening to him over the last 10 years. Now, who knows? Maybe he'll be right tomorrow, and the market will roll over. But he's been wrong for a very long time, at least in the videos I've seen of him when YouTube pops him up into my thing. But I will say he's gotten a little sharper the last year or two. Now, let's look at, that's price per square foot, that's month supply, closed sales, we're in a range. Active listings, it's going down. That just means, so if we have active listings going down, but new listings in a range, that just means the buyers have been stepping up. There's been competition. Every buyer knows. Okay, so the first thing, okay, so now we're going to put it in context. What are you going to do if you're a buyer and you decided to buy a home? I think you want to do what realtors do, working for themselves, and that is contact the listing agent directly. Work with them, because it's vital. So many of these homes are being sold to the listing agent's clients, because when you're taking in multiple offers, the listing agent doesn't know these people. They don't know if those buyers are. The biggest fear I have when I'm helping people sell and I'm working with a buyer's agent is that the buyer's agents tell them, we're in the bidding war and we'll make it back. We'll negotiate it back after inspections. Because you'll already be looking maybe to move on to your next thing and be done with it. And they're going to negotiate with you. Now, if you know there's more buyers and prices are going up, it's not that strong a tactic, but it's a pain in the neck, and they do chisel money out of people. So listing agents can therefore say, sell to my buyer. I've already got them pre-qualified with a lender I trust. They are not going to be ticky-tacky after inspections. They know, unless there's a foundation problem, some other major thing, that they're buying a home, they're going to have to fix some windows, or they're going to see something in every inspection report. The ground next to the house, it seems like over time, must sink a little bit. So now the water slopes, it goes in, so water can slope in your house. And almost every inspection report I've ever seen says the ground has to be sloping away from the house. There'll be things like that. I've educated the buyer. He or she or they are not going to come back and negotiate with you over that. This buyer's also willing to pay. They're fully qualified. They've got the cash. They're just, as far as I can tell now, a great buyer. So I know these other people are an unknown. Okay, so that's why if you want to buy a great house in this market, one that's in demand, and they're almost all in demand, you need to be working with the listing agent. Now, there are times so you can back off and say, I don't know the market, I need a buyer's agent, but then you have to be prepared to pay too much, or maybe you're in a very high-priced area where there's not as much competition, and the home's lost on the market a little bit longer. We'll cover that in our luxury home videos. So that's what to do. Now, on the flip side, okay, so I just talked about how to buy a home. On the flip side, how do you buy value? I would say solar homes. Over at favoriterealestate.com, I've been talking about this, and you go back and watch my videos for a long time. Solar homes can represent a value. They can be a 5 to 10% cushion for you if you compare what you save a month in electricity with the cost of, say, getting a $100,000 mortgage. For instance, I bought my home in 2013-ish, and it's more than doubled. It's more than doubled. It's almost, no, it hasn't really, almost tripled. But we put in solar about 4 or 5 years ago. The cost of solar was about $22,000, I think. I still have $14,000 on a 12-year loan. When I go to sell my home's up so much. Like it, I don't know. I'd sell probably 1.7, 1.8 or more. Am I going to really? And I have that mortgage on it for 14, 15, 16,000, whatever that number is. Am I really going to say it's 1.8 million plus? You're going to have to assume my mortgage, and you can do that as a seller. I can show you how to do it as a realtor. And it's really, if they walk away, there's really not much you can do. But you can ask people to assume it, and you'll still be responsible for payments to your lender, but you're going to try to get money from them. You're essentially giving them a loan to buy your solar. But am I going to really do that when it's already, the price of the home has already appreciated a lot? And, really what happens during negotiations is people are like 1.7 or 1.8. There's like these little ratchet points, and then they try to carve a little bit off that round number during negotiations. I mean, that's sort of the way it goes. Are you really going to then put the 16,000 on there? 15? Maybe it's a negotiating tactic, but the point is, as a buyer, you're going to get it free and clear. You might save $500-600 a month on your electricity, depending on your usage, and that can be like $100,000 in buying power. That could be 5%, 10%, maybe even more, depending on your price range. So I see solar as a tremendous value. Now, on favoriterealestate.com, if we go to the property search, and this is similar to almost every search that does what's called a keyword search. If I type in solar, and I've already done this for Poway, but I used to live in Carlsbad, so let's pick Carlsbad. We'll type in solar. Nope, I didn't slow down enough. Carlsbad, and we'll just go single family homes. I've got solar, so I'll search, and hopefully it will work. Yes, there it is. Okay, so that works. That type of keyword search works on many of the top real estate websites. I like the ones that go directly to the MLS, so they're accurate and up to date, as many of the real estate agents do. So if there's enough data here on favoriterealestate.com or for you to do a solar home search, I think it's an excellent idea. But even the national websites, you can do keyword searches. So what happens is, when you do a keyword search, let's just pick this one. I'm expecting to see solar in here. Now, it could be solar water heater. It could be pool powered by thermal solar, which is a savings. We have thermal solar for our pool too. But I'm expecting to see something like solar is either leased, or generally you're going to see solar owned somewhere in here. Let me just to speed this up, let me go find, and let's type in solar and see if okay, there it is. Owned Tesla solar system. Now, those are cool. Like, I don't know if it's, let's go back. Let's go back and see if we can see a picture of the front of the home here. Here's a roof. Yeah, there's some solar on the roof. That's not a lot of solar for that size. Oh, it's 2 sets of panels. So this is owned. Now, let's go back and see if they're, I don't see them saying we want extra money for the solar outright. So it will transfer to the buyer as part of the sales price, most likely. So they're asking $2,350,000. Let's say that's a $40,000, $50,000 Tesla system. Maybe it's got a battery for storage, which would be awesome. I wish I had the battery right now. It might work great for their solar vehicles. Who knows? I'm interested in this house. I don't even know what the price is. I use my app for that to just get a rough price to see if they're in the right price. But I would I'd find this very interesting, just because I'd want to know more about the Tesla solar and how much it might save me a month in electricity. For instance, as I said, ours saves us $500 to $600 a month. And it more than paid for itself. And there's like another solar in the background. There is a lot of solar in San Diego. In sunny areas, you're going to see a lot of solar. And in high electricity rates, they frequently pay for themselves. We walked into $200 to $300 a month savings just the day one. So we got a 12-year loan, paid for the panels, and we were, instead of being at $400, $500, $600 a month on average, we were at $200 to $300 a month on average. At the time, there's also like $13,000 or $14,000 rebate. So we actually used the money instead of putting it in the loan. It would have cost us $110 a month. We would have been saving $400, $500 a month in electricity. So that's one of the ways to find value. So you, in this market, if you have, and to summarize, solar is value. If you have a home to buy when you sell, you want to be a contingent seller in the least contingent buyer, or not a contingent buyer at all. If you want to be a winning buyer, and you probably want to work with the listing agent directly. You can find out more at favoriterealestate.com. That is my MLS home search site. I'm putting the links in. I already started to my content site, which I believe I will make at favoriterealestate.net if I can get the software to work. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye. I plan to be doing these far more often. That's John McConnin, favoriterealestate.com. I'm a real estate attorney and a broker. Good luck with your home search or home sale. Thanks. Bye.